Hello, my name is Cossio, and this is my portfolio critique. So, just a short introduction. I originally came to Barry as an engineering major, but um, after taking CRT 101 in I think it was my third semester, that was when I decided to change my major from the dual degree.
I'm looking to see what to expect.
And yeah, and some other information about myself is that while at Barry, I worked in bits most of my time here. So for 4 years, I was in bits. So I had a lot of experience working with computers, just working around the campus as well. And that was something that I enjoyed doing, working with technology. So after taking CRT 101 and completing my midterm and final projects, I was just like, and learning about all these different new things like 3D printing and programming and all that stuff. I was just like, this is the major for me. I enjoy doing this stuff. So for my theme for is using personal hobbies as a base to cultivate and learn new skills. And what I mean by that is I, I there's certain things that I enjoy, but um, it's hard for me to come up with certain project ideas just right off the bat. So what I usually do is I'll take something I'm familiar with, and then if I want to learn some new skills, I'll be like, hey, I want to learn to do this, and I like this, so why don't I just combine the two? So it'll be sort of easier for me to pick up these new skills because I'm enjoying what I'm doing and I'm more familiar with what I'm working with in the aspect of I want to alter something that I'm familiar with. And then for my first project I'm presenting is the glowing Triforce. This was actually the first project I ever made in a CRT. This is my CRT 101 midterm project. And this symbol right here it's well known in I guess, the gaming community. It comes from the game series, The Legend of Zelda. And the Triforce is a very iconic symbol in that series. A lot of people know about it. And I wanted to take this symbol and I wanted to create some sort of artwork or like wood art. So I know that I wanted to use neopixels. I wanted to use like the wood shop. I wanted to make it out of wood. I wanted to use a laser cutter. So these were all new, different like things that I haven't used before. And it was a lot of first times for everything. So it was my first time using like this saw right here. And then it was also my first time like working with Arduino. And you can see this is like I did laser cutting. That was my first time doing that. It's my first time soldering as well. And I actually struggled quite a bit with the soldering for this project. And it wasn't until after Dexter showed me like how to correctly solder that I was just like, wow, this is much easier than I expected. And I was actually like soldering on the project for like close to like 30, 40 minutes, just trying to get like these three pins, like just trying to set in for some reason. And then he just came over, showed me like within a minute, like, oh, you got to, put the solder on the pins first before you actually like put it on the pad. And that was something that I learned. And it was just like, oh, there's all these like different methods to everything that you can learn. And then, yeah, so these are some of the skills I took away with me. And then, yeah, so that's the glowing Triforce. And then for my second project is the Tesla truck. This was actually my it's a Fusion 360 class. It was a 3D model, or it was Chris's class, and this was the final project. And this is another project where I was just like, I didn't know what I wanted to do for my final project, so I took something that was, I guess, popular at the time. This was just around the time where the Tesla truck was revealed, and I was just like, hey, why don't I just kind of make this and then render it and do all this 3D modeling for it. So that's exactly what I did. And then you can see those are the models. And then I also made the tires as well. So you can actually print it and it's on the printer and have the model and everything ready. As for my third project, this is one of my favorite projects just because of I was really enjoying the work that I was doing with it and interacting with the different programs and stuff. So this is Soul Guy Fury. So first off, in the gaming community, there's a thing called modding, which is go into the game files and you can add stuff, take away stuff, modify stuff. And one of the more popular common things to mod is character skins. So like just changing the cosmetic look of your character and everything. And people usually take another character that can sometimes be out of the game or not even related to the game, and a character within the game, and they usually merge those things. So this example is Nigel Thornberry and then Guy Fieri on the left, which is he's like a foodie from, and he's also from the show Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives. So in this example, they took Guy Fieri and mixed him with Nigel Thornberry, and that's what you get on the right. As for me, I took Guy Fieri and I combined him with Soul Bad Guy, which is a character from the game Guilty Gear series. And I specifically modded it for the game Guilty Gear Strive because that's a game that came out about a year ago, and that was the one that I was currently playing. So I was just like, I'm gonna work with something I'm familiar with. So you can see on the left, that's the left model right here. That's actually the one that I modified. And then this right here, this is the default one. So you can see that there's quite a bit of changes on each one, whether it just be colors or like added flames and stuff. But the thing that was like difficult for this is like, you can see in this screen, I would have Blender open in one screen and then I would have Photoshop open in the other. So as I would be making changes in Photoshop, you would see them appear on Blender over here. But the thing is that there wasn't really any specific sort of guide or anything when making these changes on the right. So it was a lot of like trial and error, like changing little bits of like changing little colors and adding things. So you can see that like this square over here is actually the color for the t-shirt, which is why there's flames over there. So yeah, so by changing this over here, adds the flames of the t-shirt and everything, and then with other different things as well. And then this is actually the in-game render of it. So like if you're actually playing, you'd be playing as this, and it'd be fully cosmetic, so you can just see yourself as Soul Guy Fury as compared to the default one. So, and there's some other changes I made. So like on his belt, it would say like free over here, and then on his belt, like over there, it would say flavor, because you know, Soul Guy Fury, I was trying to keep that theme going on. And yeah, so my takeaway from this is I learned a lot of like Photoshop and using Blender, and also a little bit of Unreal Engine 4 to actually get those files and actually put them into the game itself. And it was a fun experience because it was all new things, and I was working with something that was close to me or something that I was really familiar with. And then my fourth project is the Nest table. So this is my senior capstone project. And the general idea of the Nest table was to create a sort of PC nest. And then I would attach it to the bottom of the table, mount it on there. And you would have a glass top, so you can take it off and you can actually take out the parts and change them out without having to have like a case, taking the case fully apart and have all that messy wiring and all that stuff. So this was just the beginning of the Nest. And then here are some more pictures. This is the actual table. This is how the table was originally supposed to be, with like steel legs and stuff. So I built that. This is it when I first built it. This was the original mock-up 3D design with the like hole in it and everything. But I'll explain why it doesn't have any sort of like hole or anything. And so what happened was I actually built this table. I left it in the wood shop. The next day later, I got this message from Grout.
I broke it.
He broke it. But I would like to thank you for breaking it, because by breaking it, you actually helped me a lot and made the table a lot stronger and made it so like it wouldn't fall apart, because I'm pretty sure if you weren't the one to break it, I would have broken it and it would have been a lot worse. So yeah, so this is the message I got. I emailed Grout. I was like, yeah, I would like any assistance, like just please let me know, because like table's kind of broken, kind of need to fix it. And if you have any tips or anything, or like any advice to make it stronger or anything, I'll gladly take it. So he was nice enough to give me this diagram right here with like explaining what I needed to do to make it stronger. And that's exactly what I did. So you can see I got the two pieces of plywood that will allow it to have a stronger base and everything. So the legs will attach to this instead of directly to the table because the table's, I guess, a little bit not flimsy in a sense, but it couldn't hold the weight of the legs by itself. And it would cause it to like bend and do other weird things and warp. So having these two plywood beams that goes across now helped a lot with the stability of the table. And that's also one of the reasons why there isn't this hole right here, because the beams just go straight across and it was kind of difficult to just cut a hole straight through that would just kind of go through the beam. And then these are the two 3D designs that I need to make for the crawlbot. And you see the tabletops on crawlbot. Those are the two fan walls that were cut out. And then here's the kind of process. So this is like I guess the new table being built, like without the steel legs being connected directly to the table, but it's onto the plywood. And then there's screws that go across with the diagram 4. And then here is the nest actually mounted. So I used L brackets all across. And here is the completed photos across. So you can see like the top view. Here's I guess the view on the right side. So this is the exhaust fan right here. So the air is going out of here. And then these two fans underneath here, they suck up the air, the cold air, and then this fan over here shoots it out. And then as for what's next, I'm gonna be completely honest. I'm not really sure what I'm gonna do next, but I do have certain plans of where I want to go. So one of the things I'm gonna do is over the summer, I'm gonna be going to California, and I'm gonna be looking to travel a bit because a couple of friends and family have invited me over to just spend time with them. And all these friends and family, they're all like, they all work in fields that are related to technology and things that I'm familiar with. So the people who I'm talking about are my stepbrothers, and they live in San Diego. So one of them, he has his own company. He designs websites and creates logos for people who contract him to do so. So he does that, and then another one works IT at a local college in San Diego, and then another one works for, I believe, Netflix. So I believe I can get like a knowledge and experience from them, just being around them, interacting with like, and talking to the people they know, hopefully like building connections with those people as well. And yeah, that's pretty much what I plan to do, but I'm still going to be looking for those opportunities. Like I plan to look for like, I'm not really sure like what sort of job I want, but I know that I want to do something tech related. So I was thinking of like maybe some sort of like front end or back end design or like programming, and then maybe doing some IT, but I'm not 100% sure at the moment. Just I know that I want to travel a bit and see these different places and hopefully make some new connections.